Hey, this is Russell, and I work at the video store, the place that we can all go to every week when it's movie night. On days like today, interesting people pop in to rent something. We go through the films that they've loved across their life, and we are just here to help you figure out what you could be watching on streaming platforms and out in cinemas. All right, let's do it. Let's open up the shop.
Did you see that thing yesterday on the TV? It was ready, interesting!
Good morning, chaps.
Morning.
Howdy.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Oh, we're a little bit of southern today.
I know.
How you, Cole?
I'm fine.
Just
so
fine.
excited.
And
get to that.
you, G-Force?
All right, dude. How are you?
I'm lekker, man. I'm
Nice.
lekker. Today's a good day.
It is a good day.
Hey, thank you everyone for wandering into our video store. It's lovely to have you. Today on the show, we are going to have Kiruna-Lind Devar. She is a very celebrated performer, dancer, actor,
Extraordinary human being.
extraordinary human
Amazing
being.
friend.
Yeah, who's been a good friend of Cole's, who I've come to watch and really appreciate over the course of these shows. You really like, she's so enchanting on stage, she's so talented,
Yeah.
and we are just so proud of and happy for her that she is the lead in Mamma Mia, which is happening right now at Monte Casino. She is the daughter in Mamma Mia.
Yeah, Amanda
If you know-
Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried's
I
character.
don't know what the character's name is, sorry.
And so tickets are mostly sold out
Oh, wow.
for this run, but you can give it a little Google, Mamma Mia at Monte Casino, and you can buy your tickets
At the Teatro.
at the Teatro, which is the big one.
The big one.
And so it'll be lovely to just to see personally how someone does this kind of show. You know, it's one thing to perform every now and again or do a quick little run of something, but to do this every day for months
Yeah.
is
It's basically
wild.
every day Mondays off.
It's wild.
I think it's that.
So let's get into it.
Amazing.
Cole, you are obviously friends with her,
yeah.
so
No.
please be a part of this chat,
Okay, I'd love to. Thank you.
and let's get into it. Okay, this is Kiruna popping in to rent something. How's it?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
It's so good to see you.
So lovely to see you.
The few times we've interacted has been more one-sided. It's been more you singing at me or dancing at me because I've been such a big fan of all the productions that you've been in.
Oh, thank you so much, Russ. Yeah.
There was and of course I'm also there for Cole,
Yep.
Yeah.
who's
Damn
often
straight.
who's often behind you, holding the bass guitar. But I've taken such great joy in seeing you perform, and I'm so happy for you right now.
I am.
Right
Same.
now.
Seeing your friends do well. It's the best thing in the world.
So we're going to talk about where you are at right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the productions in the past where there was that great Disney production. What was that called?
The Man and the Mouse.
The Man and the Mouse.
Yeah.
Simply Broadway, right?
Yeah. This
Okay.
is, for anyone that doesn't know, productions of loyal customer Brett de Groot, who's been here before.
Yeah, yeah. One of our favorite
mutual
customers
friend.
who's been on the show. You are in Mamma Mia,
Yes.
and you're not just sort of like the tree in the back or part of the cast. Who are you in Mamma Mia?
I am fortunate enough to play Sophie Sheridan.
Okay.
And yeah.
That's the daughter, hey?
Yes.
That's Amanda
Yes.
Seyfried's character.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is it going?
It's extraordinary. I think when I kind of got cast in the show, it was the most surreal experience. I remember exactly where I was. I know these situations are so cheesy. Like you
Yeah.
always hear people going,
No,
I remember
bring it on.
exactly where I was. And, you know, but literally I was on Buckingham Avenue, just about to turn onto Conrad Drive when my agent called me and on my, Bluetooth. And she was like, well, they want to offer you Sophie. And I went, what? And I just burst into tears.
That's so lovely.
Because I
Yeah.
think I went into the audition process kind of just showing up for myself.
Yeah.
I felt like I had nothing to prove, especially because most of the people on the creative team knew who I was.
Yeah.
And I'd worked with them before, and I think that is such a nice place for a performer to be. You can just go and be like, well, this is what I can offer. You know what I can do.
Here's a reminder of what
Yeah.
I can do,
And
as
it's-
opposed to introducing yourself for the
Yeah.
first time.
And it was one of the nicest audition processes that I've had, just because I didn't feel depleted or less than when I left,
Yeah.
which is always nice.
Because that can often be the case, eh?
Most cases, more often than not.
You're just sort of one of many. Thank you. Next. Yeah.
And you're kind of like, okay, that's fine. What's meant for me will never pass me by. Then you get into your car and you cry, and then you you get a piece of cake, and then you go home, and it's like fine.
Yeah.
But when I got this job, I thought something big is going to shift in my life.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years since I played Charity Hope Valentine in Matric. That kind of kickstarted my career.
Who's that?
What is that?
So Charity Hope Valentine is the lead in Sweet Charity, the musical.
Oh,
Which
hectic.
we
There's so
did-
many musicals. I don't know. What
Yeah.
that is.
I don't know that musical.
So it's fantastic. It's like it was choreographed by Bob Fosse, and the film features Shirley MacLaine, but it was
Okay.
originally Gwen Verdon, created Charity Hope Valentine.
And this is while you were in high school.
Yes.
It was a production outside of your school.
No. It was our major production.
Oh, it was your major production.
Yes,
Okay,
because I went to
okay.
the National School of the Arts. Obviously, our focus is, excellence in arts and
Yeah.
academics.
Okay.
And,
No. So the school play that comes out of the NSA better be fucking good.
yeah, and it was.
Because you could forgive Bryanston High School. Our production of Grease, it's like, oh, can you do a backflip? Cool, do a backflip. And I'd imagine yours would be good. And we are going to get into
Yes.
your high school time, and I actually
Woo.
want to talk about what it would be like to be in Joburg's version of Fame. But just to quickly just dial back to right now.
Oh yes, sorry.
It's no, don't worry. It started already.
Yes.
How long have you been doing it now?
Well, we've been running since the beginning of March in
Okay.
Cape Town, and
All
in
right, so
Joburg
you-
we were here from April.
You okay? Well, Jesus, that's 2 months already,
Mm.
and you're going to continue for?
Another 5 weeks.
How long is
Okay.
the run in Joburg?
It's like 2 and a bit months. Well, no, a month and
Okay.
I don't know.
That is
I'm-
long.
I'm
is that
gonna-
normal?
Not really. It's
Okay.
because it's doing so well.
Right.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
Mamma Mia in South Africa. It's like we have
Exactly.
basic crowds. Sorry to say that out loud on the air,
Yeah.
but it's like,
Well, listen,
Mamma Mia is like bread
Part-
and butter for South Africa. If it would be in the Netflix top 10.
It would
You know,
be.
I'm going to be in that basic crowd in about 2 weeks' time with my whole
awesome.
family.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when to book because I've got a wedding next weekend and
No, but you might not even get space, man.
oh really? Is it that sold out?
No, when we booked for our tickets
Ugh, no.
weeks ago, they were astounded that the majority of the seating was already sold out.
Yeah, so weekends are completely
Um,
sold out.
But how many shows a week is this?
8 shows a week.
Oh my
8
God.
shows
Yeah.
a week.
So it's a
Yeah.
double weekend, a double
yeah,
double.
double, yeah. Tuesday through to Sunday.
And you are doing every one.
Yes, I got a bit sick in Cape Town. So
Yeah, because I'd imagine that's tough, eh?
yeah, it was, we have such a strong cast
Yeah.
and such a wonderful sense of holding one another for the most part. One has to be diplomatic, when you kind of talk about cast politics.
No, I can
but-
imagine it's there.
Yeah.
Especially in a cast that big. How many cast members are there?
there's 26 of us, I think.
But what do you do when you actually get so sick that you can't do it? Because you've got to think of the rest of the week. You've got to think of next month. You've got to...
So that's the thing also, is that we have a very strange culture in our industry in South Africa, which, having worked with internationals, it was a very stark contrast in terms of how we deal with injuries and getting sick. And
Okay.
there's a great sense that we have to push through. We have to prove ourselves. We
Is that
have
the
to
South
do this.
Africans?
The South Africans, yes. Whereas in my experience of working with people from overseas, is that they stub their toe, I'm sick, and
really?
then they take off for a week. And there's very little guilt. There's very little scam. It's kind of like, well, I can take off, someone will
Okay.
cover for me. But South Africans don't really have that mentality, not because we don't want to take off,
Yeah.
or we don't feel like we should or we need to. We are often
It's part of who we are.
yeah, it is. I think
It's our fabric, yeah.
exactly. And we have a very good work ethic, and sometimes to our detriment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have learned, especially on Phantom, that if you can't do it, don't do it. It is okay. The show will literally go on without you. And the wonderful Kate Normington, when I did eventually say I cannot do another show, this was in Mamma Mia, and
Oh, so you have been able to take a moment.
I took one show off because I was battling a horrible chest infection.
Yeah.
I was man down. I pushed through 10 shows and I said, okay, I can give you 2 mediocre shows or 1 good show, and Jackie goes on.
Yeah.
And Jackie went on, and I saw clips, and she was just completely beautiful.
And I'm sure she appreciated it
Oh,
too,
she-
because
You
she's
know
been
what I
waiting
mean?
in the wings the whole time.
And I've had understudies that have literally been like, or people understudying the part that I'm playing, they would have pushed me down the stairs if they could have. and
That is so hectic.
and
No, but it's true.
It's
I mean,
true.
imagine doing all of that time and preparation
And then
to
you never get
actually
to
perform, which is what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
But imagine doing all that time in preparation to never perform.
Yeah, and you don't get show fits because you're
Yeah.
not performing.
And it's kind of like the nature of the beast, You
Sure.
know
Yeah.
that you are going to go on or you're not going to go on.
And you have to be there. It's not like you're a doctor where it's like, okay, give me 20 minutes.
Exactly.
It's like you've got to be side of stage.
Absolutely. But I mean, Jackie was wonderful, and it was a liberating experience for me to just go,
You know what?
I can't. And,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
I have to save the other shows. Yeah.
exactly. I have to think about myself.
But also
And-
your body, because
Yes.
like if you have a chest infection and doing rigorous exercise, you can give yourself like heart disease.
And-
Yeah, you can
and
take it further. Yeah.
being on antibiotics, and
It's a
all of
bad-
us
yeah.
dosing up on prednisone, so we can manage everything and expectations. And
yeah.
it was granted it was a complicated situation with the understudies having been teched yet, but as Kate said, it's not, you're not being replaced.
No.
It's just different. And when she messaged me just to say I'm proud of you for like taking the rest, and just take comfort in the fact that you're not being replaced. It's just different.
Yeah, also
And
in
we
that
need to
culture
hear
to
that.
just say, I can't do this. That's huge.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's massive.
Um,
I remember like just talking about it, my only like version that I can relate to this was in Key Change in Cape Town. And John flew down, I drove down, and he was like full chest infection, coughing. Like I was like, is that COVID? That sounds like COVID. So I was wearing a mask and being careful. But then good technique is actually kind of shocking.
Unbelievable.
When
Completely.
You're just like, how are you singing this the whole fucking show?
Oh, so
and
his-
then
his
like,
ability to get past that
yeah,
chest
you have
infection
you have a full, like you hear people talk when they have
by
chest and
his
throat
sheer
infections, and then you
experience.
have good technique. You sing, it sounds great. Come backstage, cough your lungs out in the intermission,
Wild.
to get it all out, and you didn't cough once on stage. You're like, how do performers do this? You guys are
is
like,
just
because you're trained.
technique. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
trained, and that's like hectic, right?
but
So that's-
marathon trained.
yeah.
Like it's for that long haul. But speaking of the good things, what's the sort of dreams like? Do you sort of have ABBA just forever in your dreams? Are you able to shut it out, or is it just living inside of you?
So
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking of my school productions where it's like all the songs that you fall asleep to them, you wake up to them.
There
It's
was-
like,
funnily enough, because I grew up listening to ABBA,
okay.
as I think all of us did,
Yeah.
absolutely everybody.
Sometimes you couldn't avoid it.
Exactly. But it was kind of that it's always been in my frame of reference. But I didn't dream about the
Yeah.
show at all, except when I started dreaming about this one song. It's the beginning of Act 2. It's Under Attack, which in my very humble opinion is one of the worst ABBA songs ever written.
Which one's
never
under
heard
attack?
it.
It's literally
How do you,
What is
never
it?
heard
How does it
Under
go?
Attack of my life.
I'm being taken, about to crack. It's awful. Anyway,
Okay.
It sounds awful.
I can't. Anyway, and it's this huge belt for me, and I've spent most of my career not considering myself a belter. You know, if there are people, I've
Belter
been.
means something so different to me.
It's like, well, Karuna.
She's a belter, but
She's a belter, dude. Just saying.
Like, so I've been, you know, very kind of like Kiruna's going to sing like a Disney princess. And
okay. So the sort
you know,
of sweet
yes,
delivery, the not the like.
this, yeah, the soft, the less, it's not very brash and Broadway. And, you know, like, I mean, but I have,
Like a Celine Dion would be a
not like
belter.
exactly.
Big Mama
Yeah.
Morton
Yeah.
vibes,
Yeah.
you know?
And I have found this huge voice in me in this show,
Oh.
which has been so liberating. But that song I dreamt about.
Okay.
And
I'm
it's so
gonna go
funny
find
because
it.
it's a night in the musical. It's a nightmare scene. Sophie's nightmare. She's
Okay.
under attack. Yes,
Yeah.
Kiruna's nightmare too.
Lovely.
It's like Stanislavski method.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So there would be a performance tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
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 So Monday's your only day
What
off.
is the
Yeah.
okay? Monday's the day off, and then what time would you get to Monte Casino today?
So I
What is just sort of what is one night at the
at
production?
the Teatro. Well, I get there an hour before call time, and call
Okay.
time is
Call time is when you're meant to be there.
Yes.
Okay, so you go above and beyond.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. No, well that's good.
So our call time is an hour and 45 minutes before the show. We have half an hour of warm up, so it's 15 minutes of physical and 15 minutes of vocal. But for me, I get there an hour before, just because it's easier for the wonderful Elsri Botha, who's doing our hair. She just to spread it out for her, so the workload isn't so intense. So I go an hour before call time, so she can curl my hair and do my things. And
you get your hair done every night.
I'm so spoiled.
That sounds nice.
It's so nice. And then I kind of just chill. I catch up with some castmates or
Yeah.
friends and get my head in the zone. I steam, and then we do warm up, and then I just go into my dressing room.
What is you're gonna have to break that still
Yes.
down. What does get my head in the zone and what does steam mean?
So steam is literally I sit with my Vicks sinus inhaler and I just
Okay.
breathe in hot air.
This is after warm up, before warm up.
Before warm up.
Before warm up.
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
have a little bit of a break before I have to sing so that the vocal cords aren't so fragile, but there's a little bit of moisture on them. Especially
Mhm.
coming from Cape Town to Joburg, that shift in
Yeah.
climate
Yeah.
was
that
quite severe.
humidity or whatever it is.
Well, like
Um,
Cape Town being more humid
yeah.
and Joburg being dry.
Yeah.
I live in Joburg,
Yeah.
obviously, but whenever we go on holiday, you don't think about it, and then you come back to Joburg, and within an hour, your nose
Yes.
has like just clogged up,
Mm-hmm.
which is what you consider normal. But you only notice the difference after the holiday, and you come back and you're like, why can't I breathe out of my nose?
Yes.
And you're like, it's because we were in a dust bowl, and nobody should be here.
Exactly.
There should be a bunch of farms. Like no one would choose to live in Joburg. There is no water. There is no moisture.
Oh, I love Joburg
But the
though.
best weather
no. Yeah, but the
in
best,
the country.
the best weather.
And the
Okay.
best people.
Yeah,
Thanks.
just yes, you said it.
Yep. Okay, and then getting in the zone. What does that mean?
I kind of just focus, like how am I gonna, like what am I feeling? How can I channel what I'm feeling into what I'm doing tonight? Or just sometimes thinking about other things, putting on other music. I always make an effort to listen to other music. So I won't listen to ABBA while I'm doing Mamma Mia. Like I don't actually tend to listen to ABBA or listen to musicals
Yeah.
at all.
Mm.
I think it's important to kind of keep your brain in other spaces.
Yeah.
Like,
That makes sense.
so I put on my Spotify and I just chill. I kind of
Amazing.
think, how am I feeling? What is this? What's my voice doing? And then it's like, I suppose, just a focus.
Because I'd imagine that every performance is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that from the band. We've played the same songs for,
Mm.
12 years now. And some people think, isn't that boring? And you're like, no, every time it's different, right? There's a different reaction, or there's a different set of people looking at you, or there's a different energy in the room.
100%.
But you feel that, right?
100%, yeah. I think I have learned in the past, I suppose the past year, that there is space for things to be different because ballet has been, it's informed so much of my life in terms of
Okay.
the rigidness of it. I struggled with things being different if it was set like this.
Yeah.
But as I think I'm coming into my own as an actress, I've understood that it can be different and that it still has the same depth and it still has the same soul. And it's like, I can also have fun.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be.
If anything, that could give it more depth. It could give it
Exactly.
more soul.
And
Because ballet, you can sometimes argue, is perhaps a bit too cold,
it's starchy.
a bit too removed sometimes.
Yeah. And I think I've learned so much about just letting things go and letting things be, which has been amazing. You know.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of things being like structured, it stays the same. But like you said, like
'Cause there are the-
responses and
There are those cues that have to hit. There are
Yeah.
those lighting things that you have to be at a certain point at the stage.
Yeah.
But within that space, you can find that.
find freedom.
Lovely.
I was so glad watching all those rehearsals and the shows I've done with Karuna. And obviously we're talking about stuff that's much bigger in scale and in intensity. But I would just sit in my bass spots. And sometimes Brett would make us walk on and off stage, and that was the most stressful that time of my life. Walk onto a black stage, try to get past your music stand, pick up your bass, and then lights
Yeah.
on. Call it his bass. But like always watching the actors be like in the darkness, like hitting their spots. It's a
Quite
lot,
something,
eh?
yeah. But it's the marathon of doing it night after night. You know, that's what's different, and that's what makes it a completely different thing.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I think it was from all people. It was Macaulay Culkin, the child actor, who said, "It's amazing how each discipline has its own sort of. It's made for a certain part. So, like, filmmaking is the director's medium. It's all about them getting that thing and seeing their vision and getting them to do it again and realizing it. They can cut it, they can create
Yes.
it, right? The actors have got fuck all to do with the process in the
Like
end.
actually, if you look at the form of it, it's the director's
TV
medium.
shows are the writer's medium. And you know this. In the read-throughs, they often, especially in the sitcoms, they're sitting in the front and they're listening to the audience. Did they laugh at that joke in the read-through? Oh, quickly, let's change. And you see them sort of huddle like a sports team and, okay, I've got this joke, I've got that joke. It's all about the writers
Yeah.
for TV show. And then for theatre, it's 100% about the actors. Where it's like, the director's gone. Sometimes they don't even sit in the shows.
Yeah.
Sometimes the director will do their job in the rehearsals and then leave.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
leave the city.
I can't
for the
imagine
show
that.
to continue.
That is so wild.
That does happen.
It's most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
You know, and the writers are long gone. Sometimes they're even dead. So it's all about you.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting way to
I
look
love
at it.
looking at it. I love that outlook, you know, because
So
it's
that-
the truth.
Yeah, so that you can embrace it and embody it, or you can step back when you realize, like, this is not about you, bud.
My word, that analogy from Macaulay Culkin just made me appreciate jazz in like a whole new way.
Yeah,
Just like that's a musician's medium
Yeah.
genre.
yeah.
It's like it's where you get to be a muso,
Yep.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
totally. Okay, so let's take this little journey because we know where you are now. You're in the middle of arguably the most exciting production of your career,
I would say so.
safe to say.
Safe
Oh
to
yeah.
say.
So far,
Yeah. God willing.
yeah, so far. Where did we grow up?
Joburg.
Okay.
Ain't no burger like a Joe burger.
No
Where-
burger like a Joe burger.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
So I grew up in Craighall.
Okay.
I went to St. Teresa's Mercy Convent.
Okay. We sometimes have them over at the Bioscope to screen their set works.
Oh, okay.
And I must say, they actually have really good set work choices.
I mean, it's like I was only there for primary school up until grade 7. And then I went to the National School of the Arts,
Okay.
which was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Okay.
I always knew that I was going to be a performer.
Yeah.
I grew up in a performing arts household.
Okay.
my
So,
mother-
yeah, what did mom and dad do?
So my dad was
Isn't-
a composer
Right?
and my mother's an actress.
Isn't mom a bit of a legend?
She is well known and respected in the industry.
Okay,
That's what I've heard.
Cole, speak about her mom because you might not.
I mean, this
Or
is
maybe you can speak about
this is
your
what
mom.
I've heard through passing. Like, if I talk about Karuna and mention your mom, I can't remember her name now. It's been
Brenda.
so long. Thank you, Brenda.
What did Brenda do?
Like parents and grandmothers will
Yeah.
immediately know who she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, over to you. What did she do?
So my mother was an actress.
Okay.
She
What was her full name? Or her stage name?
before I was born, it was Brenda Radloff, and she
Okay.
married my dad. Then she was Brenda Devar. for a little bit, then she remarried.
Okay.
But she's gone back to her old stage name now, which has been, I think, really great for her in terms of taking back her
Yeah.
career. And so Mom was a very well-known and respected actress in the musical theatre, well, in theatre in South Africa.
Okay, so it was more stage.
Yeah, more
Okay.
stage. I mean, she did a couple of radio plays and a movie or two, but like not,
Okay.
that wasn't her
Forte.
forte.
Okay,
But
so that got you going, I can't see a world other than me doing this too.
100. I think I always, like I said, I always knew I wanted to perform. The capacity changed. At one time I was going to be a ballerina, then I was going to be a Bollywood dancer, then I was going to be in musicals, then I was going to be a ballet dancer again, and that stuck for years. I woke up one day, I think I was about 12 years old, and I just said, I want to be a ballet dancer, and that's when everything kind of clocked in, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like I danced every afternoon for hours. At school, I was super focused. I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I started singing. And I sang with Eileen Pilot, who was a well-known recording artist. Like, she did a lot of BVs and that kind of thing for Springbok Radio and all of that. But so I had contemporary training, which is when I first started singing jazz. And I thought, oh my gosh, I like this too.
I'm a double threat now.
What am I going to do? What must I do now? And I just really, I started honing that side of my craft and this side of my craft. And then come matric, I auditioned for the musical, which I hadn't done before. Wait, no, I did audition for a musical, but it was Songs of Migration, and I was not the right demographic for Songs of Migration.
I don't think so. No.
No. So then
But you've got a mix of
Yes.
ethnicities within you.
Yes, yeah, my dad's Indian and my
Your dad
mom's
is
white,
Indian
yeah.
and your mum is white.
I'm a
Okay.
Windian.
A Windian.
Yes.
I'm learning so much from you
I
today.
love that.
But yeah, that was my kind of journey into
But just to go back, primary
Yes.
school, St. Teresa's,
yes.
starting to think about being a ballet dancer.
Mm-hmm.
What movies came to you around that time?
So
The Puppy Love film is the first film you ever loved. What could it be?
this, it's going to be a toss-up.
No, it's nice when it is.
A toss-up between the 2000 cult classic Center Stage.
Yes. And I'll tell you my relationship to Center Stage. Carry on.
Yeah, and a chorus line.
A chorus line. Okay,
Yes.
is that an old musical movie?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So it was made in the 80s.
Okay.
The musical originated in the 70s, Michael
Yeah.
Bennett. And it's just the story of, it's an audition process of dancers for the chorus line.
Okay.
And I used to watch that movie every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, just one of those.
Yep.
It's
So-
got Michael Douglas in it?
Yes, it does.
Whoa. Okay.
I grew up in a ballet household too.
Oh, wow.
So my mom did it, and then my sister did it. My
Yes.
sister did it in training as far as you can go.
Yes.
Not to be professional. Maybe there was a time when she could have thought that, but like as far as you could go.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually went to NSA once or twice a year
Oh, wow.
for the
Concours.
for the concours,
Yeah.
which was in many ways one of the cuckest boring
Yes.
things you could get a 12-year-old boy to do, which is watch the exact same ballet recital with the exact same annoying song that you've heard in your house for the last 2 months play over and over again while little girls that look exactly the same as each other because they've all done their hair back, they've all got a
Yep.
particular outfit on,
Yep.
doing the exact same dance over and over again. So me and a friend whose sister also did ballet, we went and explored NSA.
Yes.
We went down passages and around. We sort of thought it was kind of haunted, which I don't. Maybe it is. The ghosts of former child stars. But Center Stage came into my sister's life,
Yeah.
and as a result of my older sister being a ballerina, wanting to watch this movie, I was subject to it, and I actually quite liked it. It was a fun movie about a
Yeah.
ballet dancer trying to kind of make it in New York, right, or in the city.
Yeah.
Is this the one with Zoe Saldana?
Yes.
Okay, because
Yeah.
there's two.
And the lead is like like some blonde chickie. I don't think she did much more in her life. But
Amanda
She
Schull.
was, she was in Suits.
okay, cool.
Yeah. She kind of became a slightly more serious actress.
And she wanted to be a ballerina And then there's a great scene where she goes to like another dance class, which is a
Yes.
more like freer, contemporary class. And they have this incredible dance sequence to Red Hot Chili Peppers cover of Higher Ground.
Oh,
It is the best.
And,
that sounds
and
good.
I must say, I really loved that moment.
Yes.
And I appreciated that movie. Because right at the end, it double times. And I remember the person, and I remember at that moment the teacher going like, "Dance the shit out of it,"
Yeah.
and she found her like freedom in that moment, a little bit to what you said, which is
Yeah.
when you broke out of ballet and you started finding the freedom in being free.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay. Perfect. Now we're over into high school. What is it like being at a performing arts high school?
So I
How does like
obviously-
geography and science, does it even factor in?
It does. It
Accounting.
really does. So like obviously when I went to NSA, I was expecting fame. We on our orientation week we had to wear our old school uniforms inside out, and kind of the theme was
That's
royalty.
interesting.
And
They made you do that.
yes, because and then it was awful. But we had this grade 8 sleepover, where we were kind of being introduced to the school, just basically being bullied, and having to sleep in the hall that was scary and cold.
The hall that I had spent so much time in. Yeah, yeah.
You and me both.
Yeah.
But I remember looking around there and going, I'm so happy to be here, because I was surrounded by so many people who were just like me.
Yeah. I felt that way in varsity.
Yeah.
In high school, I was like, I'm surrounded by jocks.
Yeah.
Like, I like them. They're my friends. But like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to a place where everyone like quotes movies.
Yes.
Okay, so this happened in high school, which is so
Yeah.
special that at that point. But does one have to audition to get in?
Yes. So there's quite a rigorous audition process, and they obviously, because NSA is a formal Model C school.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't they kind of have to take some kids sometimes?
They do
Yeah.
sometimes. So it's like obviously if there's a kid that is not so brilliant
Yeah,
but is fee paying,
yeah,
they will usually make a concession for them.
yeah.
Like
No, there's some
there's-
parts of it
but-
where legally you have to give an
Yeah.
education,
That makes
especially
sense.
if you live in the
the
surrounding area of a school.
Yeah.
Legally, you've got to take them.
but because it's a school of specialization,
Yeah,
they have to be arts focused,
yeah,
right? But what is glorious about the school is that it is a school.
yeah.
If someone has potential, there's always space for growth.
Mm.
And the way that NSA is structured is that it's not just about becoming an artist, right? We have people that are doing astrophysics. We have doctors. Some of the best doctors in the world currently came from NSA.
Yeah,
Because the academics is what you make of it. We have good teachers. They do the CAP syllabus. So it's academic. Like there's a focus on academics as well.
Mm.
When I was there, if you didn't have over 60%, you weren't allowed to be in any of the major
Okay.
productions.
I was about to say, what is the how do they
So-
actually push you to pay attention?
and the thing about the dance department in particular is that because I think the dancers are so particular, that don't like to fail.
Yeah,
Most of us did
Right.
quite well.
yeah.
But I mean, I was not an academic. I was like, I just want to be a ballet dancer.
Why am I learning
I just want to point my
maths?
toes. I don't want to do this. Then grade 10 came around, and all of a sudden I just went, oh, I like doing well.
Yeah.
And then I just worked hard. Like, and my
Yeah.
academics got stronger. And,
Provided you've got some brain,
you know.
you can make it work. Yeah.
And then matric came, and I was, I did very, very well because I wanted to, obviously, because I love it. But that's the thing about NSA is that it's a platform for you to just be excellent in every aspect
Yeah.
if you make it, like
Yeah.
if you use what is given to you.
Did you live at home and drive through every day?
I did, yeah. I was only
Okay.
15 minutes away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did want to be in hostel at one point, and my mother's like, "Are you stupid?
No, man.
Yeah.
Why?"
Hostel's
Which-
hectic.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
We've
Not
got
good.
our love, which is the high school crush. Now we're honing our ballerina-ness, eh? We're specializing in that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like, oh, I can be a singer and
There's
a
a little
dancer.
bit of singing coming in,
Yeah.
but you are surrounded by talented, amazing artists.
And I think
Was there any film that you can think of? It doesn't even have to be an art film. Like, could have been a...
it's not going to be an art film.
Yeah, good. No, please.
So I used to watch a lot of rom-coms. I still do.
Good.
I wouldn't actually consider this a rom-com, but the person I was seeing on and off in high school.
He was somewhere between a boy and a guy.
Yeah, he was.
That's what happens in high school. It's okay, don't worry. It's not a big deal.
Jason, yeah.
Good old Jason.
Good old Jason. Bless his
This is a
Okay,
little
so
hard.
what happened?
So yeah, it was just a dysfunctional high school relationship.
Yeah.
But
I hate how stupid that dysfunction
You
is when
know,
you're
right?
young.
But what movie did you watch? Why
one
does it-
day, one day, and I loved that movie.
The
But
movie's called One Day.
yes,
One
Okay.
day.
it's based on a book. The author's name was literally at the front of my head, and now it's gone.
But now, wasn't
completely.
there was a TV show recently
Yes,
made?
but the TV show is extraordinary.
Okay,
It
so they did
is
the movie of
so
it.
Beautiful. Yeah, this was years ago.
I didn't know there was a movie for it.
Yeah, and it's with Anne Hathaway and
Jude Law?
no,
Oh, it's David Nichols.
yes,
Don't really-
the author.
Yes.
And so I can't remember his name now, but he's that Welsh actor, I think, the one that was in Across the Universe.
Oh, he was.
Oh,
yeah, he
no,
was
is it
Jude
Ben
in Across
Whishaw?
the Universe.
Yes, that's it.
Oh no,
He
Ben
played-
Wishaw's a problem.
He played Jude, but in Across the Universe. But he,
Oh no, it's not him. It's not Ben Wishaw.
what's his?
It's
is his
Jim
name?
Sturgis.
Jim.
Yes,
Jim
Jim
Sturgis.
Sturgis.
Jude, Jim, Ben.
He was
I don't know
also-
anything.
White boy names.
Wow.
Jim and Ben.
Across the Universe deserves a moment,
Oh, I love that movie.
which is the Beatles musical, like the Beatles musical film. That's really good.
What's the song he starts with
Hey, you
singing
got a
on the
Beatles t-shirt
a
on.
Beatles shirt on? What's the song he starts singing on the beach with that beautiful accents? There was a girl. No, that's Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Da, da, da,
No, I
da,
can see the scene,
da,
but why is
da.
the song not being a song?
Yeah, when the camera is like being walked up to him on the beach and he
Yes.
turns around,
Yeah.
looks into the camera. Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful.
Ugh.
It'll
It's
come
great.
to us.
Okay, so One Day.
One
you
day,
guys watch.
I think
Okay, so One Day, for those, I don't know whether the film version is still floating around streaming services, but it was recently remade as a limited series, which got everyone's attention. In the TV show, the
Yes.
woman is Indian.
yes.
In the movie, it's Anne Hathaway.
Yes. So,
Okay.
so in the book, I think she's your typical English gal,
Oh, is it?
which
Okay.
is what makes the casting of an Asian person so amazing, because we don't necessarily see romantic leads in that
Yeah.
Right.
presented that way.
Okay.
Which is also why
So,
her name's also gone out of my head. I have a brain like a sieve,
it's okay.
but
You got lots of other things to worry about these
Is
days.
this the person in the series?
in the series,
Her name
I haven't
is
seen her in other
Ambika
things.
Mod.
Avika Mod, and she is an exquisite actress.
Mm.
She said the reason why she didn't take the job initially was she's like, me,
Yeah.
a
and-
romantic lead?
and
Are
that's
you
the po-
crazy?
But that's the point of the whole
Right.
performance.
Yeah.
The whole time she keeps. Okay, so One Day, quick back
Yeah,
of the
what's
box.
the back of the box? I don't
quick
know what's
back
going on.
Quick back of the box is it's a relationship over many years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They sort of meet at a party and they like could have maybe hooked up. They sort of spend the night together, but not literally. Well, no, it happens literally, but not figuratively.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got my English messed up. And basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you then gather, and it was especially good in the limited series because each episode hit them at a different point in their life as they got older. And it's the unrequited could have, should have, are we together, are we not together, could this have worked? A little bit like past lives.
Yeah.
I'm
Like could we,
thinking
should we
that.
have been together? But what it pins itself to is a certain day in the year, which is like a particular day that is celebrated in like Scotland or Ireland or something. Ben never.
There's rain and
It's like the groundhog. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the British version of like Groundhog Day, which is like on this day, if the weather is doing this, it means it's going to be this kind of winter.
Yeah, it's going
Or
to
it's
rain
gonna
for
be
the
this
whole
kind of-
winter.
And so that's got a particular name, that day. I forget what it's called.
Me too.
I hate that I can't remember things I learn in movies.
And so by using that day, and specifically that day, because that day is saying we could go in this direction, we could go in that direction, which is the point of the whole love story, which is if we had been together, if
Yes.
this had worked, if we had made this happen.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
watch that movie.
It was
Okay, so what was the movie like?
so the movie
And what
was,
has Jason got to do with this?
So Jason,
Shame.
shame. So he was kind of like my first really significant boyfriend. I'd always had boyfriends, you know.
It was like a first love.
This is the high school crush.
It was a high school relationship. But the thing about Jason was he was very quiet and very reserved and had a really big heart, and he was 100% convinced that he was going to marry me. And I was like, no, what? No.
Yeah, we're in high school.
Yeah, and then we saw one day together at Eastgate. And it was not like a movie that I watched over and over and over again, but I think it is a significant movie in that time period in my life because I did watch it like once, twice a year, you know, after that. And then, you know, Jason and I met up like 5 years. Like after 5 years, he matriculated, he went off to Cape Town, and we were walking on Bloberg Beach, and he was holding my hand, and he was like, do you think you've met the person you're going to marry? Ironically, I had met the person I was going to marry.
No ways.
But I was like, no, I didn't. And
he
he was
didn't
like,
know.
what? You know, you don't think you're going to marry me? I said, Jason, you can't be serious. Like, you can't really think that we're going to get married, you know?
I know.
And it was like, and he's like, I was like, I think you need to take me home. And he dropped me off, and because I was staying at the actor's house.
Okay.
And I was doing Joseph at the time, and I was a shenanigan. Like,
Yeah.
I was on missions. I was like not interested in boyfriends, life, love, anything. And it was this whole, we had a push-pull relationship from when we were little.
Yeah.
And Jason passed away in 2020.
I know.
And it's so, the reflection of one day and Jason was just, there was always tragedy,
Yeah.
like surrounding him.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
yeah.
Cole, that's very similar to the male in the relationship
Really?
of one day,
Very
where
much so.
he does suffer from substance abuse. I don't know what
Very-
Jason
very
suffered
much.
from, but it was about his demons.
Oh my God. It's like art
sorry,
mirroring life.
100%.
But sorry, what was the Bloberg thing? Did you guys reconnect? And you
We
were sort of together
reconnected
for a little
a
bit.
lit-
That's why
wasn't-
you were holding hands on
It
the
was
beach.
like not even, because I'm quite an affectionate person
Yeah.
to an extent, because
Mm.
I don't like cuddling. Much to my husband's dismay, but like I'm not a cuddler, but I do hold hands, and I'm tactile, you know. I'll
yeah,
touch you if
yeah.
I'm,
Me too.
you know, but Jason took my hand, and it was such a beautiful day. Like, it was just walking on the beach. It was very peaceful.
But the guy, so you say you actually had met the person you were going to marry.
Yes.
But you weren't together yet.
No.
Okay.
No. So we had just done a show together.
Okay, lovely.
How long ago was that?
2016.
That was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that. Yeah, because
who is hubby?
I am married to the wonderful Ichu Madeleine.
That's a cool name.
is that how you pronounce?
Ichu, yeah, but it's Hugo.
Okay, good.
he's very good at being like gauging whether someone's gonna get his name, but
How are
it's
you
Hugo.
pronouncing
Ichu.
Hichu.
You go.
Oh, because it's is that Afrikaans?
He's very Afrikaans, yeah.
Okay. I was friends with an Irene for so long, and she's like, well, I'm Italian, so technically it's Irene.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I could have been calling you something so much cooler for so
so
long.
long.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Ichu is a dancer, choreographer, actor. You know,
Amazing, man.
he's really great.
I love you.
Yeah, and we met on an awful show, but you know, obviously
I've
his
heard things about that.
Oh, it was
I've
so
heard
tough.
things about that show.
That show, oh my goodness. But yeah, he was with someone, and I was again on missions, like
Yeah,
I was-
vibing.
Okay, so one day was your high school crush, which
Yes.
is perfect because that sets up
That's a
this
beautiful
particular
story.
Yeah.
relationship
Thank you
that
for
you
sharing
had.
that.
Over into varsity now? Did we study varsity?
I didn't study.
Lovely. Did you just get straight into acting and
I did.
performing?
So Sweet Charity really springboarded my career. It opened a lot of doors for me. Or kind of people just went, oh, who's this person?
Do industry people attend the NSA productions?
They do.
I would imagine
They
it's a good
do.
hunting ground. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's also because the NSA equips you for the industry. A lot of NSA alumni manage just to go straight into the industry.
I would imagine, because that is your university. Because funny
Yeah.
enough, as I said, you had that. Your experience in high school was my experience in varsity, which
Yeah.
is to be around, to hone the craft.
Yes.
So it makes sense that you're ahead of
Yeah.
everyone else.
And it's 5 years of focused training, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't learn more, because you can always learn. And there's some situations where I find myself in and I go, oh, I wish I had
Just a couple more years of something.
or
Yeah.
the tools or the skills to kind of navigate this more effectively.
Yeah.
But then my mom always said you learn better doing than you learn learning.
So now, theatre performer mom encouraged your career.
100%. 100%. I've been very, very fortunate that everybody's been 100% behind me. And a lot of people have just taken leaps of faith.
Because they can see it, man. And no,
bring
but they
the-
can. And like, you know, I think I also had a trepidatious dad who was an accounts finance guy
Yes.
until he saw the school play. And he came home and he's like, I get it, man.
Oh,
He's like, I get it. Like, do it. Like, I
Yeah.
can
Oh my
see.
God.
I can see it. I can see
Yeah.
it. Like, you need to do this,
and,
you know?
And I think that's so amazing that
Yeah.
you like, because I mean, I was at school with this one gal, and she was so good. She was so good, but her parents were still apprehensive. And she could have been such a brilliant dancer.
If left.
I'm going to
alone.
hijack this for a second
Yes.
and tell
Yeah.
you my tragic story. So being a kid, I discovered movies through the TCM channel. So all the
Yes.
musicals with Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire.
Mm.
And that's how, like a mixture of episode 1 and musicals got me into movies, actually.
Episode 1 being Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what got me curious about filmmaking. But very much before that, started with piano, was into music. And Brett de Groot actually saw me in my grade 1 play as Shere Khan, like living my best life in a tiger suit.
I was also Shere Khan. Were you? In nursery school.
Yes!
Gosh,
There's
I
a picture of
love
me
that.
with like a
High five.
little paper like tiger hat.
Okay, we need to find this for the post for this
And
interview.
I remember thinking like, I'm not just someone in the back. I'm not just the chorus.
Same. And I like being in front,
Yeah.
you know? And also was one of
they saw
the
something in me.
like Constantia Kloof terrible production of Sound of Music, but one of the Von Trapp kids had a great time.
Okay.
And then shifted to Trinity
Okay.
in grade 5. And I remember new school, being shy, like new people. This has never happened to me before. But I was like, oh, I'm an actor. I'm going to go join the drama class. And everyone was new and strange. And I found it on the extramural schedule. I went up to the door and I could hear all the kids in the class like laughing and having a good time. And I was about to knock on the door to let myself in, and I was too shy and I walked away. And then also, my mom and dad, my mom wanted to send me to the NSA for high school because by that point my piano had like taken off and I was playing.
Yeah.
I was like,
No, you're a fantastic pianist.
yeah, people were losing their mind over this young boy that could play piano, and she was super stoked. And then dad was like, no, he's staying at a Christian school. He's not going to a boarding school run by this government kind of thing. So and then my mom said, I'll keep him in high school as long as Trinity makes music a subject. And the principal promised. And then that never happened across you know what I mean? How hard is it to make, and it was a rugby school, hey? Even getting the
But
arts.
is it really a rugby school?
No, but they're not good at it.
I was going to say,
They-
what?
They're
You're-
determined to make it a good rugby school, but it's not.
No, but your school that you went to was Trinity.
Yeah.
But that's got no link to when someone says they have a Trinity level of music. Okay? That's a completely different thing.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
completely different thing.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So in my head, I always put the two
So
together.
that was my substitute. I studied Trinity piano all the way to
okay,
grade
so you
8.
had two different Trinities happening
my
at the
life,
same
yeah.
time. Yeah, no, fuck the rugby school, man.
So well done to your parents for making the right call. You know, it's important.
I remember honestly, like I was always B team, C team, sports guy, and I loved it. And I remember because we had fun, right? We could
Yeah.
kind of play,
Yes.
but we had fun. And I remember once being in the change rooms because I was now benching for the A team, and I got to experience what it was like to now play for this A team rugby team. And you'd love this moment. I put on my rugby jersey, look around. No one else has their rugby jersey on. I'm like, okay, when do we put our rugby jerseys on? And then I hear the coach going, when you put on that rugby jersey, I want you to feel the... And I was like, oh. I preempted that one. I didn't feel the glory because I just put it on real quick.
Because it's a jersey.
It's a jersey.
And
I'm in a change room.
I would be the shittest coach of a sports team. I would just be like, guys, go out and just have fun. Like we would not win, but we would have lots of fun. Okay, our last film, just to guide kind of perhaps an overall picture, is the film that you could settle down with. It's interesting that you have settled down. You found a what?
Hichu.
Hichu.
It's hard to pronounce.
Yeah, it's
that.
Hugo.
It's like when you say you in Afrikaans, you.
Does he get a lot of Belle the Police jokes? at
All
him?
the time.
What's that?
I mean,
It was a meme where there was like a fight that broke out in some like sort of
just like
dodgy neighborhood.
Krugersdorp
Yeah.
or
And
Witbank or...
and the majority of the video is like the mom or the person behind the camera phone telling Hugo to phone the police.
She goes, "Hier gebel de polisie. Hier gebel de polisie."
Oh no, shame.
And so he probably lived a very normal life up until that video.
Yes, I think so.
It's like if you're a South African woman and your name is Marelise.
Oh,
you're fucked.
100%.
I met someone the other day and I was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, yeah, I know. It just takes one little girl who can't ride a bicycle and like the
Your
rest
name
of,
is destroyed.
big shout out to Office Space, that great movie where the guy was like, I had a very normal name. My name is Michael Bolton. It's a normal name up until like Canadian singer, whatever he's from. And it's like, no, it's the dumbest fucking name.
Oh, shit.
What is a movie you could settle down with?
So
It could be one of the ones you've mentioned before.
it's going to be a toss-up again
Cool.
between the fantastic and cheesy Love Rosie, which makes me cry every single time I watch it.
Love Rosie.
Love Rosie, it's based on a book. Again, it's about these people missing each other in their lives. I don't know why that is a...
Have you
Actually,
watched Past Lives?
I've not.
That
I've
seems to be a
not.
theme.
I don't know. Actually, that's the first time I've ever actually...
Like drawn
Yeah.
this parallel.
That's what the show is all about.
Yeah.
Welcome.
No.
Who's in Love Rosie?
Lily Collins and Sam Clayton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, when was it made?
2014.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So,
relatively new.
yeah.
Who's she?
Oh, I know Sam Claflin.
I love Sam Clayton.
No, he's
Who's the female?
Lily Collins. She's Phil Collins'
daughter.
daughter.
What does she look like? What has she been in?
She's exquisite.
She doesn't look like Phil Collins, thank God.
Yeah. That's
She's in Okja.
Okja.
Yeah, Okja.
Yeah.
Okja.
And
She's
she's
in
in
The
that.
Blind Side.
And she's in that god awful Emily in Paris.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Is she the main and
Yeah.
she Emily? Okay, well that's the
You
thing
know.
that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Okja made me vegetarian for like a good 10 minutes. No, really, I was like,
to everyone.
I was like, I need to turn my life around.
Yeah.
And then a little while later, I was like, oh,
No, yeah. But I just love it. It makes me cry every time I watch it. Just because.
Love Rosie. What's it about?
So it's about these two teens that are best friends. They've been friends since they were little, and there's a sense of being guardians of each other's dreams,
Okay, that's
you know,
nice.
which is
I
just
would like
such
a guardian
beautiful
of my
concept.
dreams.
Yeah,
I think we all want a guardian of our
yeah,
dreams.
and I think that kind of sets their relationship up really beautifully. But again, so on her 18th birthday, they go out as besties, and she has too much to drink, and they
and
kiss,
smooch.
and then she forgets, and then the
But
next
he
day,
remembers.
yes, then obviously the next day she's like, oh, so embarrassing, like whatever. But she doesn't remember that they kissed, even though that they both love each other,
Yeah.
and their whole lives would have been so different if, you know, he had just said, this is what happened, or, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then they miss each other for their whole lives, but they go to their formal dance, and she falls pregnant, like
With
not
some other guy's boy.
yeah, with a stupid jocks, you know, and he obviously is like, she's pregnant. He fucks off, and then, you know, she raises this little girl, doesn't tell him, and then he finds out, and then, you know, it's just this whole like he gets married, divorced, this like she gets married, divorced, like, and then eventually she.
Is it a happy ending?
Oh, it's the most
Oh,
beautiful
good.
ending.
Thank God.
But again, it's set over a shorter time period in the movie than it is in the book.
Yeah.
The book, they're a lot older when they're,
Yeah.
you know.
There was a movie, and now, Cole, I don't know whether you could ever be able to find it on your computer, but maybe you guys remember, but there was a really smart movie that was out. I'm sure it was on Netflix recently, where it was a really smart premise. She thinks she's pregnant at like a very young age,
Yeah.
and the moment she takes the test, the TV splits, like the screen splits into two stories, and the one is a story where she decides to keep the baby, and the other one is when she doesn't
Has an abortion.
has an abortion. And you then watch the whole
Sure.
movie play out between these two versions.
Is it
of,
always a split screen?
No, no,
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
no. So you
About to say.
it immediately just sets up the fact that there are these two paths that this person can
Yeah.
go down. And, the one is more career, the one is more like family and this relationship that she then has with her kids. And there's this lovely moment, not to give too much away, but kind of how the two stories kind of come back
Yeah.
together, and then it sort of gets back into the split screen, and you realize this kind of circle of the story. It's so smart. What the fuck was it called?
Actor?
No one famous.
Damn it. Okay.
I'll find it and we'll put it in the cash app
the
Okay.
descriptions,
in the description of the.
but you said it was a toss-up between...
Oh yeah,
this-
that and
Ratatouille. The most perfect film
oh lovely.
ever made, in my opinion.
Okay,
Debatable.
No, I'm just saying. I love it. I watch it.
why do you love it so much?
Oh, I have
What
no
is it about
idea.
Ratatouille?
I love.
Is it the ginger boy? Are you like...
No.
Okay.
I mean,
No,
good
it's like-
question.
it's
Because
being-
fair
Yeah, I
enough.
know, because I'm that basic in animated films. I'm like, the animated non-existent person is hot. I like it.
Like I just
Just
I
getting
don't.
to live your dream, getting the world to see how talented you are.
Remy.
It moves me, but I actually think when I'd like have to think about it, I love the music so much.
Do they sing?
No,
Just
no, there's
very
the
special
sound.
Just the
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
The
of
soundtrack
it.
is just completely beautiful. It's the
Okay.
same way. I mean, I don't watch Up because my
Yeah.
heart can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that
But
movie.
the reason why
little-
I love
The little Asian boy called Russell.
My first girlfriend laughed at me because I cried in Up. Yeah.
If you don't cry in the first 5 minutes of Up, there's something wrong with
Yeah.
you. Like a part of you is broken,
exactly, and it's
and you
like,
should look into that.
Yeah.
because it's just so moving, and I think, but again,
Thank you
it's
for the memories.
the music and the.
It's gonna be
Old
great.
people, man.
It's
Old-
hectic.
the love of old people.
Yeah, Ratatouille is
Okay.
a movie I can watch. Oh, and the Bee Movie. Oh
The
wait,
B movie.
No ways.
The Jerry Seinfeld B movie.
the Bee Movie.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. This is a safe space.
So I love animations, right? I really,
Yeah.
really love animations.
I didn't know that.
So I know every word to the Bee Movie.
That's awesome. I don't think I've really ever watched it.
Oh, it is
It's Seinfeld being Seinfeld, right?
a little bit,
Yeah.
but I
just love it.
just love it so much.
That's okay. You know what we've realized at the video store is that movies can be these comfort blankets that we, pull over us
Yeah.
at certain times in our life.
Absolutely,
They're always there for us, and that's what you want ultimately from
Yes,
a husband or a wife
yeah,
or a partner. Is you just want someone to just be that comfortable pair of shoes. You know,
absolutely,
it
and
just gives you a hug.
it's so that these kinds of films always bookmark parts of your life,
Yeah.
and it's always so interesting to revisit things that you used to watch or you used to listen to or that informed the way that you like. I'm so glad that I didn't watch New Girl when my personality was developing, because then everybody would have been like, you just like Jess. But now that I only watched it as an adult,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm not just like Jess because my personality developed before New Girl.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm my own kind of kooky.
I am my own Jess, but
Yeah.
Yes.
No, because I can imagine many impressionable, probably females, watching that and going like, "Oh, this is going to be my identity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be the kooky Jess."
and people used to in high school used to be like, you're just like Jess. I'll be like, what?
What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking
You're not-
about?
You're nothing like Jez.
I don't know what. What are you talking about?
And then you watched it.
And then
It's
I watched
such
it and I
a
was
great
like,
show.
wow. That's me.
Lovely.
Um,
Listen,
Yeah.
I think we could
Hilarious.
chat forever, but I think we need to let you go. What can be a movie we can rent to?
Across the universe, I rediscovered what the song is at the beginning.
Yes.
It's the... I'm not going to sing it. Can I sing it? It's
Sing it.
early in the
Go for
morning.
it.
Is there anybody going to listen to my story? All about a girl who came to stay. She's the kind of girl who... I got the
You
lyrics here.
want so bad it makes you sorry.
Still you don't regret a single day. A girl. And they have that Beatles harmony. Is it better with him doing it by himself? Or is it better with that Beatles harmony when they all sing it there? You know what I mean?
Combo of both, man.
Yeah, I think
They're both special.
He's on
The
that like
Beatles are the best.
stormy, like rainy English beach.
I mean, just an
Yes.
English beach.
yeah,
It's so great.
a
It's
true
such
minor.
It's a captivating introduction, eh?
It really
It
is.
stays with you.
Yeah,
It is such a great film. And I remember watching it going, I love every fucking second of this
Yes.
movie. And there's even a point, and this is what I love, and I'm sure you guys will agree. There is a point sort of just over halfway of this movie across the universe where any mainstream normie is going to get lost.
Yes.
You know exactly where I'm talking
Yep.
about. It's when Eddie Izzard comes out and it's the Blue Men or the
Yes.
whatever. And
Yes.
I'm a walrus.
just after the Ken Kesey trip
I'm a
scene.
Walrus as Bono.
Yes.
Yeah, he plays the walrus.
No, but then
Joe
He-
Cocker was
So-
yeah.
also...
Okay, I know. I'm on the same page
But
now.
you know,
I'm
Yes.
on the same page. Yeah.
There's just a point where that movie gets a bit weird.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, oh my God, what is this? It's so cool.
It's so
Yes.
cool.
And that's when any normie watching it with you is like, this is weird. and
Also,
then you pull through and then you get the great love story. But of course, it's okay. So I don't know whether it was a musical, like a stage play.
No.
I think it was made specifically as a movie.
Yeah.
Your lead character's Jude. His love interest is Lucy. You get where this
Yeah.
is going. It's
Even-
so good.
Even
is the
Rachel.
Bioscope due for a screening of Across the Universe?
It should be. We should maybe do it as a video store presents. We've done it as a date night.
Ooh.
But
Oh, you've done it as a date
we
night.
should do it as like a sing-along.
Oh, you should, Russ.
Hey, where you encourage everyone to just sing as loud as they can.
Yeah. that
We've
sounds
done
stunning.
sing-alongs. Let's do a sing-along of Across the Universe.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's so great, Russ.
I love the
Oh.
Beatles.
Yeah.
That film also convinced me that All My Loving is probably my favorite Beatles song.
Really?
Yeah. Close your eyes and I'll
Mm.
kiss you. I was just like, the energy of that song is so nice.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
There's a great moment where someone was interviewing Paul McCartney. You know, he had that new album. I think it was called Egypt Station.
I was about to say, is it called New? Because he had an album called New.
Oh God! and he sort of said he was reluctant to ask him because everyone thinks that they want to up their new material and they want to talk about what their new stuff is and they want to get behind it, and perhaps in some cases artists think they're just getting better and better, and so he sort of phrased a particular question like, is this your best work or are you happy with it? And apparently McCartney was like, dude, I was in the Beatles. like,
I love that.
like
Come
I'm,
on.
I'm, my
Like
my
one of
big
the
days
biggest-
my big days are behind me.
Yeah. One of the
Everything
biggest cultural shifts in history.
he's
was
like,
me.
everything I do now is just for fun. Like I can't match the Beatles. Yeah. Lovely.
It's so shit that we don't have 80-year-old Beatles, 70-year-old Beatles, just
Right.
old boys with guitars singing acoustic sets. Can you imagine how nice that would be?
I mean, like the Rolling
Stones.
Stones.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, I'd love to
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right. Maybe there'll be like a hologram tour. And,
I was going to
That
say,
our
they've
kids will
done
go
it
and
with
watch.
ABBA.
yeah.
Can't they do it with the Beatles?
Apparently that ABBA show is amazing.
Yeah, they say it's extraordinary.
I think I'm going to go watch it in October when I go watch Dream Theater.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
going over the seas.
Yeah, in October. If I can get tickets this morning.
Well,
That's paid. So I'm like, I'm buying tickets and I might go see ABBA as well.
And I'm going to spend all the money on holograms.
Yeah,
holograms.
exactly. People that aren't real.
Lovely. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks
you.
for visiting.
Thank you for having
It was
me.
such a lovely
So
chat.
nice.
Yeah.
And just all the best with the rest of Mamma Mia.
How many weeks do we have left?
5 weeks.
So
5 weeks to
happy.
get tickets. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I will see you in about 1 or 2 of those.
I can't wait.
Lovely.
Can we get tickets at web tickets or
Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster only?
It's a temperamental website. So,
Mm.
but yeah, the weekends are almost completely sold out. So aim for during the week.
Yeah.
And they have that terrific Tuesday special where tickets are slightly cheaper on a
Oh,
Tuesday.
cool.
When you buy them on a Tuesday or for the Tuesday
All the
show?
Tuesday shows.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magic.
Yay!
Thanks, hey.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 All right. What a delightful chat.
Oh, I love her so much.
Such a sweetheart.
She was like one of the, and it's the worst thing about being part of these productions is afterwards people will give you like chocolates and things and like say
right.
thank you for the run. It was amazing.
This is when
and-
you finish
Yeah,
doing
when
a
you finish the
performance
run
with
and
her.
a performance. Yeah, or like with it's a culture thing, right?
Yeah.
So like John will give us like amazing gifts, like really nice gifts.
Jonathan Roxman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kiruna, and in the smaller productions like One Forgets, or if you're not part of the culture, or if you're a dysfunctional musician, you don't think about these things.
Yeah.
And then Kiruna gave me like stones that like have energies and offer protection and stuff. And she
Like
was
crystals.
like crystals basically.
Yeah.
And she's like, it was for driving and keeping you safe while you drive. And I think she gave those to me. I was like, cool, rad. And it was neither here nor there for me about whether or not I believe in it. My friend gave me something. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think those have been in my car for like 7 years.
Gad has a particular crystal or a, I don't know what it is, or it's a coin or something.
Okay.
Right.
And it's some patron saint of something, or he's Jewish. I don't know whether it's a Jewishly linked thing.
Do they have patron saints?
No,
No.
I'm getting this horribly confused. But whatever it is, it's designed apparently to get him good parking. I need him to confirm it. But it was like, I was like, what does this do? He's like, no, it's apparently designed to help me get good parking spots. Anyway, that's Gad.
Wow.
But a little bit of fact checking.
Oh, a little cash up
Let's
for
do.
ourselves.
Let's balance the till before we go home today. The film that I was talking about that deals with the person's pregnancy.
Yes.
It's a film on Netflix called Look Both Ways,
Okay.
which is a very smart name
Yes.
once you know the movie. So the
Yeah.
movie is, where she takes a pregnancy test, and then the film splits into two narratives: one when she keeps the baby, one when she has an abortion. But yeah, it stars Lily Reinhart, who was in Riverdale. It's a great movie. It's a really great movie. So that's Look Both Ways, which is on Netflix.
Okay.
Then the other thing which we couldn't remember at the time of talking is the day in the book and the movie and the TV show One Day, all adaptations of One Day. That one day is Saint Swithin's Day. It happens
Okay.
on the 15th of June, and it's a day which, according to folklore, the weather for a subsequent period is dictated. So it's like Groundhog Day.
Right.
In popular belief, if it rains on St. Swithin's Day, it will rain for 40 days. But if it's fair, then you'll have 40 days of fair weather. So it sort of sets the tone,
Okay.
which obviously is
What if there's hail?
a metaphor.
What if
Yeah.
there's a hurricane on that day?
Then it's bad. Then it means
Yeah.
that things are going to
Okay,
be bad
not-
for
not
40 days.
like-
It's
okay,
quite
it's bad.
simple.
Okay.
It's like
Right.
one or the other.
Okay. So it's like
So
good
you
or
can
bad.
see how
I
it's...
thought it was going to be like literal hail for 40 days.
No, well, it's just that things are going to be shit
Okay.
for 40
Yeah,
days.
exactly.
Like,
Okay.
the mood will be bad.
Right.
So yeah. So that's Saint Swithin's.
Saint Swithins.
Okay.
Swithers.
Swithin.
Okay.
Swithin, which is a English
Yeah.
English
Sounds
thing.
English.
All right. Lekker duties.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Lovely day here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for wandering into our store. The home base is thevideostore.co.za, and we speak to other actors, other performers, so you can see all past episodes as well. And chime in on social media. Let us know what you think of what we've chatted about today. And go and see Mamma Mia.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's freaking
It-
ABBA. Why would you not want to see it?
It would not disappoint. And yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks, guys. Thanks for a lovely day.
Mm.
And we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
TTFN.